somebody stop me, stop me, stop me, oh, somebody stop me. And Lord, if
Money back, money back, make it like a money back, money back.
Franchise.
I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what plastic. I say, babe, it's he said it's a them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, money back, money back. He makes sure he put Cardi down on his list. Now why this? When I look at my snap, I take a man and I won't give him back. I just walk into the booth and attack. I hit this button, the roof will collapse. I've been broke my whole life. I have no clue what to do with these racks. Heavy lay, waist snatch, back, straight back. Got lips like Angelina, belly truck tangerine, jumping on my. That's why they call it trampoline. Back on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up. I see you like the again. Why you was sleeping on me? I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. They be taking everything you want. I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, Ferrari Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty. You look like Beyonce, looking like money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back, yeah, money back, money back, money back, money back, money back. He can tell from the front, I got it behind me, and I park my Bentley truck on my Versace driveway, looking like money back, 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 woo, money back, money back, money back. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Hey boys, coming out of yesterday's practice, we all know it wasn't good enough. Today's practice, it's gotta be great. Game day's coming fast. Let's go out here and let's be great, okay?
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hot. This one's for all the marbles. This is for gold.
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. You finally getting it. You're starting to turn the corner, and that's what we like to see as a coaching staff. Show us some more. Hey, big fella, swing over here. Let's talk. We've been talking about you getting better every week. And you know what? Today you got better. Let's keep it up.
Quarterback did an option instead of the duck goose linebacker coming through. Yeah, hit him with the spin of the Jew. Yeah, we gon' blow your block like a new. Yeah, and I spend a dime every two. We gon' lock down on the offense. Bust down the skeleton fossil. I'm not addressing the problem. Julio on the post, you can't stop him. Pick it up, running back, it's no problem. I'm running behind the block, they gon' block him. Quavo Yoda, I'm offset Chewbacca. Watch the blitz on the left, we gon' block him. We some animal, yeah, we some goblin. Man to man, we gon' cover you properly. Man to man, you can't beat me impossibly. Red zone, this my highlight, my property. Do a quarterback sneakers on 4th and 3. Get the ends on the offensive block for me. I step on him down, get off of me. I'm trucking them over, he under me. All back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again. We wake 'em up, the champs is in. Champion, we want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it. They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again. We wake 'em up, the champs is in.
I just hate the ball and I look for the open man. The zone, I'm tryna get in. Open the play, but the book of the champion. Get flipped if you tryna get in. I got the front defense, they got the end. Going for long, on 1st and the 10. Gotta go hard, we gotta get all. No loss or excuses, cause we gotta win. They say they sleep, must not be a fan. Get at your mans and mess up your plans. Look at your stands and look at your hands. I do what I want and you do what you can. I do it for fans, you do it for fame. Sports, be in the game. I am the coach and the player of the game. They gon' remember the name.
We want back ends, wipe my sins, They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again. We wake 'em up, the champs is in. Champion, we want back ends, wipe my sins, wipe it. They can't win, No new friends, Football fans, they sleep again. We wake 'em up, the champs is in. Yeah.
I ain't folding under pressure. I ain't switching for no.
It's girly power. It's a coach. You're immersed in the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Denver Broncos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they're off to a terrific start, unbeaten at 5-0 through the first month and change.
And you can hang a lot of this early success on their defense, too. They're the tone setters for these guys, and the entire team feeds off of what they do.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Now on the return, Brendan Langley. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar, Case Keenum.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that 1 interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. The offensive lineup now, and the guy we highlight, Emmanuel Sanders.
You can use him in any spot as a wide receiver. In the slot, out wide. It doesn't matter. He just makes plays.
On second down, here's Keenum. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Give him 8 yards there. Still a few inches to go, though, as it'll be third down and about the length of the football.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front, and then maybe a guard can slide up to the second level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
Now on 4th and inches, they're going to want to talk this over. We get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And he's going to have the first down as he's marked down just shy of the 20. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th.
Oh, man, my stomach hurts just watching this team call plays. I've heard of going for it on 4th down in the red zone, but not when you're inside your own red zone. And, boy, somehow they take a chance here, and it pays off.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. He'll drop to throw. Going up top for Kupp. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Rams are going to take a first quarter lead. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. Well, sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. 5 plays there on that drive, and the result for the Rams, a touchdown. Zuerlein out now to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trite expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. On the stop was Aaron Donald. The defense here for the Rams.
And linebacker Levante David uses his speed and his smarts to overwhelm opposing offenses. Forced 5 fumbles in 2017. That's a carryover from what we saw him do at the University of Nebraska. He's a guy you got to count for on every snap.
And they'll run it here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down. And our statistician, Ben Ramsar, just held up 3 fingers to remind me he now has 3 tackles for a loss rolling in the first quarter.
Well, Ben's got it detailed perfectly. He always gives us the right stats. I'd love to be on the offense's headset right now because what you're hearing is, can someone please block him? Come up with a scheme, come up with something. Make sure you block him because he's disrupting everything.
Throwing is Keenum on third down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up fourth down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Touchdown, L.A. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Rams strike quickly here for 6 points. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Zerline now for the PAT. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Zerline out now to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Back to the air on second down. It's Keenum. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
Here goes the high. Right 20. 4 down.
Out of the gun, Keenum. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the third down pass falls incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now whistles as time has run out on this first quarter. 14-0 is our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Now he'll let it go deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll go on the ground. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
You know, we might start getting some props here in the booth. You know, that one that says the D and then the fence that you put up next to it? How about that? They brought out the jumbo package and still couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage enough to pick up that first down.
Impressive. They were ready defensively for that jumbo set. And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. That's their second, so they'll have 1 remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at the 20. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
We're good.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. Over the middle, he's got Deshaun Hamilton. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here goes the high. White 20.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
They'll get 6 on the play, and it's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Devontae Booker, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos draw a bit closer. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And now nothing but green ahead of him. Past the 20. Touchdown, L.A. As his guys are in for 6. And the Rams add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now 21-7. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take it.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like, fortunately, the Broncos able to recover.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23.
Run! Right 20!
From the gun, here's Keenum. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll get him down here at the 23. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here goes the hot! Right 20!
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way.
Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. A big play there just before halftime, and even 40 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
They'll run Anderson, and he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Zerline's kick is good. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin across the Atlantic at venerable Wembley Stadium in London, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Russell Wilson leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Josh Rosen, terrific in the win, and a much-needed win at that, as it is indeed their first on the year. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 6. And he's loose again. The 30, 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, LA. In for the score, and the Rams add on to their lead.
I can't help it, partner. I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games in a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Zerline now for the PAT. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So he took that one at the 6, returned it all the way to the end zone. An electric return it was, 94 yards to the house. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay inbound.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Hey, that's all day, baby. Your shot. Hey, take your shot back to huddle.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Play action. Now it's Keenum. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Ndamukong Suh. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, Suh has gone west, but still a huge body and still wreaking havoc.
And guess what? Teams are going to have to try to find a way to block these two. Aaron Donald, the reigning defensive player of the year, and Ndamukong Suh, power, force, fury. We just saw it right there as he picks up another sack.
Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And taken right at the 35. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the Rams now coming out on the field. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Lucky 56! Gone!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A big play there with his third touchdown of the ball game, number 12 on the season. And the Rams have got it on cruise control. And a nice job by him to catch the slant and then navigate and break free.
And receivers love slant routes because it gets the ball in their hands so quickly and oftentimes on the move. And when they're on the move like that, then they get to use their best asset, which is usually their speed.
And their speed sometimes, like this instance, can take them into the end zone. Now Zerline on to add the extra point. Zerline good with a PAT, and that will extend this big lead. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Zerline out now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And coming out now, the Broncos. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10 at their own 23.
4 down. Right 20!
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here goes high.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now Keenum. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Marquette King now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And out will come the offense as they take over. the field. Here comes Los Angeles. And last time out, another touchdown, and I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time we have to
positive.
leave the booth.
And they'll run it here. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
Leopard! Leopard! All right, here we go.
Back to the ground. This time it's Anderson. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Double tight. 4 down, check. Here we go now.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
No, check. Patriot. Now let's go.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Rams just continue to pour it on. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Zerline now for the PAT. Zerline connects on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Just a 4-play drive that time. And in the end, the finishing touch, an 11-yard run. Zerline out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And they'll go on the ground. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
Here goes the hot. Like 20.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Let's go, let's go. Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
On second down, here's Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hamilton. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Keenum now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to throw, Keenum. That'll be caught right side by Hamilton. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. The Broncos on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Now Keenum again. And this is going to be incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Marquette King now. He's been terrific so far. This is taken at about the 14. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you and I. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams. They put it all together, and I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And they'll go ground game here to the tailback. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot!
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away.
No. Check. Patriot.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Rams on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Hey, we got 3 down.
And they'll run it here. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Hey. All right, here we go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Los Angeles, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll get another road test next week as they have to go to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Meanwhile, for Denver, the losses are piling up as they drop to 1-5 now. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom.